not breathing too much. Like
you're like
the mouth breather. Student Body User. Have you seen that?
Nah, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh my! It's like a comedy, but it's the mouth breather's the killer. And you hear him.
I think that's gonna be re-released soon.
Like
it's 80s, yeah.
Well, with that introduction, I am the boogeyman, Johnny Zuko, with the Crypt Keeper's mistress, Elysa Sardinha.
Hello, hello, hello.
And if you happen to hear a voice in the background,
your
that's
producer,
just
Miss
Moist. And there she goes, stealing my thunder again.
The voice.
Top of the show, we want to do some house cleaning first. So we didn't mention this. So you could find our podcast on our YouTube channel at TVZ Studios, and also you can find the audio version on podbean.com/TVZ Studios. And by the end of this weekend, our website tvzstudios.com will go live. And that's also a place where you can find the Bump in the Night podcast.
Also TVZ Studios Facebook page.
Yeah, but no one cares about Facebook anymore, so. And at least I don't anymore. Anyway, that's about it. And so right off the top of the bat, I do want to say we had a monumental moment last weekend when Joe Bob Briggs broke Shudder.
That was insane. So everyone... A lot of people had issues trying to just get onto Shudder and watch it because he got that many people.
He broke down the servers continually for 24 hours, kept kicking people off. It kept kicking me off.
I couldn't even go on it. It wouldn't,
really?
And I tried, like I reset it. I shut off, shut down. I did so many things I could possibly do, and I still could not watch it. And it wouldn't let me watch it.
By the time I got logged in, it was Sleepaway Camp, and that showed up.
Oh, perfect.
So I started watching that. I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then Felissa Rose started showing up. And I was like, oh, this is pretty fucking cool. And then I had to go meet with my mom and go out to dinner. and so I was trying in the car, trying to get back on the Shudder, and it still kept kicking me off.
Oh my gosh.
And
It's so frustrating.
Yeah, and so by the time I got to Woodstock, it was already at the ending. Oh. And I'm like sitting there with like this naked dude on my phone, like, with a crazy face, and everyone's just looking at me like, what the fuck is he watching?
Yeah.
And like, I'm sitting there at the dinner table just like this and not even caring. Like, I don't care. I want to watch this. Mm-hmm. And then I started seeing the beginning of The Prowler, but then we had to go because I had to drive. That's not cool.
And this was all Friday night?
Yeah, it was Friday night. Yeah. And I think when we got back to the house, I had not turned off my Shudder account, so it was still playing. So when I got back, the Prowler was still on. I was like, yes! So I was stoked. But, so you recently texted me and said you found a flaw.
So I made a bigger deal than what okay, so for those of you who haven't seen Sleepaway Camp, check in later. But I'm sure a lot of people have, so...
After this weekend, I'm pretty sure a lot of people...
I hope so, because it's so great.
One flaw with that movie?
It wasn't a flaw. It was just more of me being nitpicky. So the very beginning, when you have the kids and the gay dad on the boat, and the dad dies, and then you have the two kids, but they don't really show what happens to those two kids, right?
No,
just the dad dies.
No, so when you see the dad floating away, you see the life vest come up, and it's ruined, and there's blood on there.
But
so the implication is that the daughter died.
But they don't make that clear.
No, they don't make it clear because they want that ending to hit you as unsuspecting. They want you to think that Angela was a survivor.
Right.
That's why they don't make it clear. And he even Joe Bob says, like, pay attention to the very beginning of the movie, because if you don't pay attention, you'll miss it. You're gonna.
It's like in a second. Yeah. So that was always an issue with me, because when I first saw that movie, I was like a young teenager, and I always thought, wait a minute. It kind of messes with you because you find out at the end it's the boy, but I always thought the other sibling was still alive. You know what I mean? So that kind of like always annoyed me. I wish like that was a little more.
Yeah, a little bit more clear.
Yeah.
I do wish that too, because I fucking completely missed it, like, through all my viewings until he pointed it out.
Yeah.
And then I saw the life preservers, like, motherfucker, really? I didn't.
It's
why
so
didn't
subtle.
I think about that?
I had never seen that movie before, and I watched it for the first time with him, and I did think right away that one of the kids died.
Really? It just that never was clear to me.
Looked little to me.
It was little, but they didn't show a dead body, and I think like
they didn't.
that left
I just
more.
Figured, like,
well,
I agree with you. It was kind of like.
It's very subtle, and it wasn't. It wasn't like super clear. I actually wish they showed like the body or like a hand or something. I don't know, just something because it made me feel like the two kids were alive, and then it also makes you think it's the cousin.
Yeah.
It makes you think it's the cousin, and that's what I thought the very first time I watched. I'm like, oh, it was the cousin. Like,
and it's funny too because they actually used the cousin in the in Judy's death scene.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They blatantly show you.
They blatantly show you his face.
Yeah, and
like or the body and everything.
Like
I didn't like that either. That was the other part I didn't.
Yeah, that to me was like
bothered me.
Well, it's a possibility that he could have done that.
Yeah.
And what he was wearing, that's not what Angela was wearing toward the end.
Right.
So he probably did kill Judy.
You think so?
He probably did.
It's funny because so over the weekend.
Because Angela was already by the lake.
That's right, with what's his face?
With
the boy she liked. Oh, I forgot his name.
I can't remember the blonde kid.
Yeah. But what's funny, like I don't know, because like I found out a lot of things after watching. Because over the weekend Shudder released
the on demand.
Yeah, they released Joe Bob's on demand, and you could catch up. So I got to see the Sleepaway Camp, and there's so many things I found out that I had no idea, and that was really cool. Like with Felisa, like being there and when he's interviewing her and asking all these questions. So it was like, oh, cool. I didn't know that. And I didn't know it was a real boy that they shot at the end.
Yeah,
they used I thought it was a prosthetic penis.
No, because...
It's a prosthetic head. How funny.
But it wasn't. It was a real boy.
It was a real boy because even on the IMDb page, they even say that because of Felisa's age, they couldn't use her.
Yeah.
So they went out and found the kid out on the street and said, hey, we'll pay you so-and-so. And we'll give you a bottle of Jack.
I had no idea.
The dude didn't want to do
18.
it.
He was 18?
Yeah, he was 18.
He looked like he was like
give him
13.
A bottle of Jack.
He's like, he didn't want to do it, so he got drunk.
Wow.
And all that, and that face that he was making is because, like, that was just like the last take. That was just like the face that he was making when he was drunk and just faded.
No,
but that's a creepy face. It was a mask.
It was a mask, but it moved.
Yeah.
With him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like... So the story goes is that there was an actual mask, and so the expression on the face is his expression when he was like faded.
That's a really creepy expression to have when you're drunk.
It's like, oh my god!
I would walk away if someone did that to me at a bar.
He was 18. I doubt he was a seasoned drinker yet. Yeah, he was crying throughout the shoot.
Oh.
And I
wonder what happened to him today. Like, where is he? You know?
I bet he's like, I do not want to talk about that movie.
Wow. But he's like famous now.
He's not famous. His dick is famous.
His dick is famous. The Dick Famous Museum. That should be
now,
like in
now
there.
Joe Bob raised a legitimate question. Was the dick mangled? Was it mangled in the accident?
No, it was just, he wasn't, not to get graphic, but he wasn't hard, and he had like
this
hair.
is PC's already out the door. No, you can get graphic if you want. So
he wasn't hard, so it was like I was in the pool like George Costanza. It was like one of those,
No, I do you think that it got mangled in the accident? Because like, how would it get mangled in the accident? It was all surface, and his body was below.
His body was below. Yeah, so I'm gonna argue with Joe and say no, it's not mangled. That's just how it is.
That's just how it is. That's just how it looked.
Yeah.
And how different.
Every dick is different.
Was it really that weird looking?
It wasn't.
It just looked.
It was dark and not hard.
Immature and flaccid.
Yeah. Flaccid.
I guess because the dude was a kid, basically. He was still growing. Yeah. So, and like Joe Bob said, he's like, I'm not going to freeze frame it to watch it, but Felisa, you need to tell me, was it mangled or not?
Right.
So, and she still didn't even get provided.
She still didn't, yeah.
She's like,
she's so funny. Like, she would be such a fun person to hang out with, it seems.
Oh man, she'd be great.
All their little stories.
With her,
yeah, all the like, oh, she likes the bar and like cocktails, like all those little stories. Like their energy was really good together. I think.
They had really good chemistry. You could tell that they were friends.
Yeah,
that was good. How different would it be though, had Jane Krakowski been Judy?
I see. She's always done like those bitchy roles. I don't know.
How different would that have been for her?
Yeah.
Like, do you think she would have been able to go on the trajectory she went? Because
I do. Yeah. Because she was in, what was that Vacation movie? Oh my God. You know, where...
National Lampoon?
Yeah, she was in that.
Which one?
She's the one on the swing saying, "Oh, my dad, like."
Oh, she's the girl. She's the little girl in that?
That's her. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And I think that wasn't too far away of the time.
I was 8. You're talking about the one where they go to Disneyland, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's Vacation.
Like their Disneyland.
That's
Yeah,
85.
The moose guy.
That was 85. So yeah, that might.
But around the same time, right?
Either a year. Yeah, I think it's a year later.
Yes, and I don't know if that was like her first role, but yeah, so like she did that, and then she was like doing commercials, I think, at that time.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like when she said that, my mind was just blown.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
I know.
How different could that movie have been?
Yeah.
With an actual actress in that movie, not to discredit.
Yeah.
Who played Judy in there. But
a lot of people got their start. A lot of famous people got their start in horror movies. I mean, look at Kevin Bacon. Friday the 13th. Johnny Depp. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Who's the other one?
There's so many.
There's one that we're missing that's really obvious. I know.
Is it a guy or a girl?
It's a girl, and it's obvious. God damn, this is gonna bug the shit out of me now.
What's the movie? What's the movie about? Can you remember? This is gonna bother me too. I hate this.
I can't think now. I'm
no.
you put me on the spot now.
I'm sorry. We'll think about. We'll come back
to it at the end of it.
Yeah.
Hopefully by then Google would have kicked in.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the whole marathon. I thought it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I could not get into Boggy Creek. I could not get into that.
So I didn't get to the only ones I got to see, and I'm still catching up slowly. The ones I got to see were his Sleepaway Camp, his Tourist Trap, Rabid, and Demons. Those were the only ones I got to catch up
I saw
with.
Demons live, and that was pretty cool. And I heard that he showed the extended cut for Reanimator, which is interesting.
Oh, see, I really want to watch that one.
So I heard because I heard that's the cut that I think Stuart Gordon doesn't like as much because Dr. Herbert comes off as an asshole.
But he always kind of was.
But more of an asshole. Like, he's not a sympathetic asshole. He's just an asshole. So,
but scientists kind of are assholes. I know a lot of them, so
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know any scientists, but I know Dr. Herbert West, and if that cuts any indication of what he did to like all the actresses and his co-hosts on there, it's a totally shift.
Oh, so it's not like a fun.
It's not
because he's just quirky and like weird.
Yeah, because in the original Reanimator, it's kind of played up for comedy,
right,
while this is kind of played up for like horror, like genuine horror.
I'd be interested to see that though. I don't know if I'd love it more, but I'd actually be interested.
A lot of people are kind of mixed on that cut.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I haven't seen it, but that's the one that's on my queue. But the one that I did see was motherfucking Tourist Trap.
So good. Okay, let me know your thoughts because I've been telling you this is one of my favorites.
Okay, so
let's hear it.
Okay, so what the fuck did I just watch?
Greatness.
Why does he have telekinesis?
I know, we don't know, and it's so weird.
Why
is
he so fascinated by the dolls?
Because that's his life. Wax. That's his life.
The one thing I thought that was really fucking cool was who was the Emma, right? The lead?
Molly,
yeah. Molly. Her descent toward the third act. Yeah. And seeing all those wax sculptures come to life.
That part was so creepy to me.
That was just insane. I thought, holy shit, we're going to get like a whole nother movie now. Mm-hmm. And I was expecting it to turn, but then right when her descent to madness goes, the movie ends. I'm like, motherfucker.
But how great was that ending scene, though? Like, when she's driving off with all her friends who are mannequins in the car with that crazy face, and then it, like, freeze frames.
When I logged in, that was the last thing that I saw was the freeze frame, and then the credits roll, and then he comes on and says, Sleepaway Camp. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Oh, so that was your first...
That was, like, my first image.
Your first visual?
Yeah, that was my first image. I was like, what was that? But I had no context. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And so I watched it, and I was like, oh shit, how good of a sequel would that be?
Yeah, that to me, I was shocked that there never was a sequel.
You know, and also it also had the. It also came out around the time Halloween came out and Black Christmas. So, you know, those two, I think those two kind of stole its thunder.
They did steal the thunder. And, you know, Halloween made so much money. And I think that Tourist Trap got kind of dismissed, you know. And you didn't really hear about it growing up. You know, I actually found it on Netflix back when Netflix only did the male DVDs. Nothing was streaming yet. And I was like, this sounds interesting because I love Chuck Connors. But, it's not a lot of people knew about it back then, but now, of course, you know,
this movie
it's getting its thunder back.
Yeah, it's also I think it got a re-release on Full Moon or Scream Factory or something like that. And a lot of the horror podcasts that I've been listening to have been talking about this movie, saying this movie is fucking bonkers. It's insane, and you know what? It pretty much is.
Like, it was just trippy because you have telekinesis going on. You've got like the whole my twin brother or my brother, you know, is the bad guy. You got the wax figure mannequin things. You're out in the country. There's just a lot of weirdness going on.
There's a lot of good setup in there.
And when their mouths open and you hear that like those creepy sounds, and like you're just like, what the opening scene where the guy goes with the tire, you're like, what's going on?
When he goes and puts the wax on that girl's face.
Yeah, pretty girl.
Holy shit, that was like creepy.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's unsettling, and I think that was like the most unsettling part in that whole movie. Yeah. While everything else was kind of campy, that one was really played up to be really unsettling.
It's campy, but to me, it's just creepy. Like if I was in a room with mannequins or wax figures like that, I don't know, I'd be kind of creeped out.
I mean, I stay away from a person that keeps handing me Dr. Peppers. I'm like, nah,
right? The Dr. Pepper.
I'm getting the fuck away from you, man. I'm gonna go over there, and you stay over there.
Yeah, but he was so like sweet, especially to Molly, and you know,
yeah,
he's like a charming man.
He actually thought that that could have been his replacement.
Yeah, I know.
And, very close.
Almost.
My thoughts on this. I enjoyed it. I honestly thought I was gonna hate this fucking movie. To tell you the truth, yeah, I honestly thought I was gonna hate it because Charles Brand. He's also a component of Full Moon before this. So this was his first movie. So when he did Full Moon, it's what's Full Moon known for? Subspecies, Puppet Master, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of that stuff, it's not good. So when I saw that name, I was like, okay, I know what I'm getting.
You had low expectations.
Yeah, but my expectation kept rising and rising, and then that finale, I was like, that's fucking cool. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. And, Chuck Connors.
So great.
Who fucking knew, right?
I know, he's so great.
Who fucking knew Chuck Connors could be a horror icon?
Yeah.
And that mask is creepy.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. And when he's feeding his brother.
Yeah, that was like.
And he's actually having a conversation with him, and there's like actual dialogue right there. I was like,
yeah.
This motherfucker really lost it.
He did, but they never explained the telekinesis though, which like, what's going on?
That's just that? Like. Here, we're just going to throw this in because Star Wars came out. So he uses the Force.
Well, you know what I'm thinking? Because the composer of Tourist Trap was also the composer of Carrie. Do you think? Because the director really wanted... I forgot the guy's name who composed Carrie.
Pino D'Norgio. So
he really wanted him, and most of the money went to that. Do you think maybe the guy got inspired by Carrie?
Ooh, that's a good question. Maybe, but I don't see them like kind of having that kind of outlook. I just think that was already in the script, just as a easy way to like apply to deaths.
I see.
So they don't or maybe that because they paid half their budget to Pino, that they couldn't do any practical effects. It was like, you know what? Let's just do this because it's easy. Just get some fishing wire.
It was effective, though.
It was effective. Especially that opening scene.
Yeah.
That opening scene was effective.
And they're like moving and like, it's creepy.
And then it's like the dolls are talking to you.
Yeah.
When they open it, like the person in there hears them. I was like,
right.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So, Tourist Trap, you gotta go see that movie because that's awesome. I didn't think I'd enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot.
I'm glad you liked it.
That's probably going to be one of my top discoveries of the year, if I think. But other than that, you got anything else? Or
I think that's good I still got to catch up with Joe Bob stuff, but I do want to say this. As negative as, as the site crashing so many times, we have to look at that as a good thing because that means he still has his fan base out there and people want to watch it. So I have to leave it at that.
Which was also where I was going to go to my next point. We're getting more Joe Bob.
Yay.
So it's been announced. and Shudder is doing right by a lot of people that complained.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're giving them 30 days free.
And that's a good company to do that.
You know what I mean? So, a lot is... So here's the thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I've only had Shudder for a week. But Shudder does not have experience in live streaming.
They don't.
Right?
They don't. Yeah.
So
as far as I know.
Yeah, so this is the first time that they're doing that. You got to understand, they underestimated the popularity Joe Bob had.
Mm-hmm. Now they know, right? This was a good learning experience for them too.
And so this is a streaming service that's learning how to do live streams.
Yeah.
So maybe the next one won't be live or be recorded or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But, for the live stream and for half the people out there that didn't get to see it, give Shudder a break. This was their first attempt at giving us something new.
Right.
You can't go on Twitter or on Facebook and just say, you guys fucked up, you blah, blah, blah. Dude, they did everything they can. They made it right by the end of the weekend.
They did,
Because right after that marathon ended, they put it right on demand.
Yeah.
And then that Monday on Prime. And
they're spot on with everything too. They you could tell that they were kind of panicking because they went for it. Okay, how can we make this right? How can we speed this up and make it work for everyone? And they followed through, I think.
Yeah, and so, I think people just need to give them a break because this is the first time they're doing a live streaming service, a live streaming event. So just give them a break. It's fine. Don't worry. They're not the WWE Network. They're not New Japan. They're not any of those. They're not the UFC, man. They don't know how to do live things yet. So just let them be, man. Let them learn the curve, all right? Please, just calm down. They made it right by the end of the weekend. So everyone's happy. Other than that, we got something really, really special for you. It's our Movie of the Week segment featuring Cold Hell.
I watched it with him.
Nice.
I know you watched The Tourist without me.
Oh, you didn't? Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my God.
I know. I'm all possessive about that. I'm your movie partner.
Yeah, you have to watch it.
If he watches them alone, I get all mad.
You have to watch it. It's so good.
But Cold Hell was good. I actually really enjoyed it. But...
Which brings me to my next point. Again, producer stealing my motherfucking thunder.
Oh, I didn't even know you were recording.
Oh my God, all
Cut.
the time.
Start over.
All right, let's try this again. Movie of the Week, Cold Hell. It's a Shudder exclusive, and it was released earlier this year. And holy shit, this movie did not disappoint. I honestly enjoyed this movie from start to end, and throughout the whole entire movie, I was just tense.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. Because then when you find out, she knows she's seen the killer, and the killer's seen her, then that game kind of begins, and then that whole taxi scene. Mm-hmm. That was fucking pretty incredible.
That was a good, yeah.
So, I thought that was a really good sequence.
So Cold Hell is it's a German film, but she's Turkish, right?
Yeah, she's Turkish.
She's Turkish, and she is a taxi driver, and she also does what's the fighting?
Thai boxing.
Thai boxing. So she does that on the side besides being a taxi driver.
And she's fucking badass.
Yeah. So she's frustrated. Doesn't really like her job. She's got a lot of family issues going on. And then one night, she doesn't exactly witness the murder, but she happens to find a dead body, and then she sees the killer. And then she gets this fear, oh, this killer saw me, I gotta get out of here. And then the cops get involved, but the cops don't really help her.
No,
and
the
detective is a dick in the beginning.
Yeah.
He's I hated him. I liked him towards the end, but that was a great character arc on his part, because I could not stand the detective at all for the first 35 minutes.
I think they played that right too, because then you're not supposed to side with the cops, because the cops are oh well, fuck it, whatever.
Oh, she was just a prostitute. Next.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it's well, you can't identify him,
right?
And you can't tell me what he looked like, but you saw him. So right off the bat, they're well, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I don't care. So here's my card. You call me when you think of something. And it's shit, seriously?
Yeah. Cops can't help me. Oh, great. I'm on my own.
Yeah.
Which she does feel. She feels like she's on her own. And then, the guy gets one of her, the killer happens to kill her cousin, right? That was her cousin, I believe.
Yeah.
So now she feels, okay, this guy's coming after my family. I feel completely threatened. So she then eventually kind of becomes friends with the detective. The detective lets her stay. They kind of form something going on.
Oh, but you glossed over an important key though. The little
Wasn't that
the cousin had a little girl with her.
Yeah.
And so now that little girl was in the care of our lead character.
The lead, yeah.
And so now she's dragging her along on the streets and shows up at the detective's door with the little girl. And she kind of plays to his sympathies of being a father.
Yeah.
Saying, look, like, I can't go anywhere and I don't want to lose her, but you're not giving me a choice here. Like, I need to feel protected. And even though she can protect herself, she's got to think about her niece or her cousin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he says, all right, fine, come on. And he breaks, and then his arc starts, you know.
This is where you start to like the detective because you see...
He's still a dick.
He's still a dick, but he does have a heart now. And you see this because he's taking care of his dad. Yeah. Who, I don't know if it's Alzheimer's or...
I think it's dementia.
Dementia. So, and then you sympathize with him a little bit. Like, okay, this is why he's such a dick. Because his life sucks at home. So then you kind of sympathize with him. And then with the little girl she's watching, I guess it's her second cousin. Yeah. This is the little girl. You find out why she's so protective of wanting her because her dad is a child molester. And that was a heartbreaking scene when she confronts her dad and she's like, child fucker. And it's really uncomfortable actually. And he like beats her up, even though he's old, he like starts hitting her. And this is why you see why our character is so just completely
distrustful of
men. In general. Yeah. Very isolated, very she's like the strong silent really type. Tough. Yeah, and just tough. And this is why, because at first you don't really know why she's like this, and then you find out, okay, you know, she's Turkish, living in Germany. Her father like raped her when she was younger. You know, the Thai boxer guy, she kind of had a relationship with him. That didn't happen anywhere. And then her cousin gets murdered. You know, her life is just shitty. So all these things, you really feel for this girl.
Yeah, it's starting to snowball for her too. And yeah. Like, by the end of the movie, it gets so big that she just can't stop it. So she's like, no, fuck it, just take me with you. You know.
She's very on. This is one of the things though. I don't know if I'd call it cat and mouse because she doesn't try going after the killer. She's kind of hiding.
You know, and it's funny too because like, so I touched on this earlier. So there's a scene when she goes back to work after her cousin is murdered, and she goes and talks to her cousin's husband, who's her employer, says, look, I need a job, I need some money. It's like, yeah, go ahead. So she takes the keys, and then she goes and she's waiting in there, and then all of a sudden the killer shows up in the backseat of her taxi.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
And then it's just kind of drawn out. It's like, and then it's kind of funny too because once he got in, you felt this uneasiness in her. Yeah. And she's like, oh shit, is this him? Right. Like, because she didn't know, because she didn't get a clear look at him, but like, oh shit.
But just the presence.
Yeah, and then the eyes, and when just him piercing her through the rear view, and she's like, shit. Yeah. And that whole fight scene in there. But then she throws her off the bridge. She's covered in blood. She comes up. She's in the hospital, and then she's looking at the mirror, and she says, I'm gonna kill you. Yeah. And to me, that's where I thought the cat and mouse game was gonna start.
But it didn't. It didn't though. She was kind of like always running away from him. She's still strong, but it wasn't like one of those revenge movies like I Spit on Your Grave where literally she goes after the guy. Yeah. You don't really get that in this, and I feel like that was kind of missing.
I thought her personality seemed more like she wasn't hunting him, but she was very in the moment.
So yeah, the moment, alert.
Yeah, and so maybe looking for opportunities to kill him, but like she seemed very impulsive to me. So like if it presented itself, she was like, I'm there 100%.
I'm ready.
I'm ready, like almost always ready, but not really hunting him.
Another thing I wanted more, because she is that Thai kickboxer, I wanted her to kind of do that with him. And that didn't really happen. I was like, no, why didn't that happen? You know?
I know the closest that we got was that subway scene when she started pounding the shit out of him.
Yeah, I wanted more of that.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, because she was good.
Yeah. And that's one. And anyone that knows me knows that I'm a sucker for a good fight scene. Yeah. And I hate when people try to cut around the fight sequence to make your actor look like he can fight. Here, like even in the sparring session, the camera's set at a wide angle and a wide shot, and you see her doing all these moves.
Yeah.
And it's really her, and it's like, and so it's establishing that she can handle herself.
It did not feel choreographed.
Yeah, but she can also, she can fight.
Yeah.
You know, so you never doubt her skills from that moment on.
She's tough, yeah.
You know, so and that's what I liked about it, especially when she broke that fucker's nose.
Yeah. Well, he
he
deserved that
it.
because he hit her in the back.
Yeah, no,
you don't mess with the back.
Yeah,
Like,
so I totally agree. Like anyone else would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
And if you say you wouldn't, you're lying to yourself.
Right.
Because if someone cheap shotted you, you're gonna get up and you're gonna break that fucker's nose or his jaw.
Asshole. He deserved it from the first minute.
But so I did want more of that. I mean, it wasn't a car chase scene, but it was a good car scene though.
It was like a really good fight scene.
It was a good action car scene, but I do wish they had more of her fighting him.
It was like I think the analogy I would put it like or compare it to is the Spider-Man Homecoming scene where Peter Parker is in the back. With the Vulture driving, and then he pulls the gun out and says, "I know who you are, so you fuck with me, I'm gonna kill you." Unlike this one, this dude actually in the backseat tried to kill the driver, so you know there was actually a payoff to that moment. But you know where that one was more based on suspense, this one was based on action,
right?
And it just like it was so intense. It's like, oh shit, and that was a good adrenaline shot too, because then you had this whole lull through the movie, and then that just kind of spiked it up again. It spiked
it up, yeah. And I was mentioning this to you earlier. I didn't really feel like this was a horror film. To me, it felt more of like a thriller drama.
Yeah.
/ action. I mean, you know, like it did have horror elements. Like he is a serial killer, but there's only 2 deaths.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a really
that are shown.
Yeah,
that are shown. Of the movie about him being a serial killer.
Right. It wasn't like he wasn't the main. It wasn't like a slasher film or anything. Yeah. So it wasn't. I just didn't feel like it was horror. But
that's what I like about Shudder though, because Shudder also has like other movies that are not horror related. They have action and grindhouse movies on there too, and I've been like digging through, and they have like some really good action movies like Mezzarine or that one, No One Lives, which is actually a decent movie by WWE Studios.
I haven't seen that one yet.
That's with Lucas Evans.
Oh, I don't really care for him.
Don't worry, the world doesn't care for him either.
No offense, I just
No, what's his older brother? He has an older brother, right?
He does?
Yeah, there's 3 of those Evans kids, right?
There's Chris Evans, but I don't think they're related. Lucas Evans is like British, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or Scottish or something? I don't know.
Or am I just thinking because he was related to Jason Statham in the Fast and the Furious?
Probably because of that.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But I saw that because I was trying to pair that movie with Cold Hell. Didn't work. I felt like it was a little bit too campy, and
this is not a campy movie by any means. It's a very serious, tense film, and I, you know, in the beginning when she's a taxi driver, it reminded me of Taxi Driver, like Robert De Niro. You know, you're picking up all these people, you're just like frustrated. And then another element too, it reminded me of Drive with the wonderful Ryan Gosling. Because she had that cool jacket. And this is what pissed me off, too. I wanted more of that jacket. But she gives it to her stupid, slutty cousin. And then the cousin gets murdered in it. So it's like, there goes the jacket. Now it's evidence. Yeah. And I really wanted that. Because in Drive, he's got that cool, like, scorpion jacket. I wanted her to have that cool jacket. But that's just a little nitpicky thing.
What'd you think of the ending?
Very abrupt.
Think so?
Yeah. That's probably the least thing I liked about it was the ending.
Like that whole sequence between, like, when the killer captures her. So we gotta go.
That was all. So she does get him, you know, and then like.
Well, actually, he gets her, but only because the cop figures out who it is.
Right.
And so this is the one thing that I didn't like was the way the cop tried to identify him. Right. So
by asking like the questions.
Yeah. So they're in this dude's office. They tracked him down. He's on the phone trying to get a hold of our lead protagonist, and he FaceTimes her. And I'm like, don't do that. Just take his fucking picture and send it to her in a text. Just do that. Be subtle, whatever. You know what I mean? And so I was like,
Like, is this him? Like, right in the face.
Yeah, and it's like, is that him? And then on top of that, you're showing the killer who the witnesses, and it's like,
that was dumb. I didn't like that either.
Like, any detective or any cop that was seeing that scene would be screaming through the fucking roof, like, what don't do that. That's fucking stupid. I get that's how you got to build up the drama, but he
still could have ran, like, all those questions. He could have got paranoid and just left and, like, ran.
Yeah, and he still could have, killed his partner and stuff like that. And I get that's how you're trying to build the drama and trying to get that, but there was better ways to write that scene.
Yeah.
I feel like that was kind of a lazy part, just trying to build suspense or just trying to get the reveal of them face to face.
Right.
I feel like the face to face would have been more impactful had they not met like fully until she comes home and then sees the dad tied up and then turns around and sees him right there.
Yeah. And
even then he's still kind of like shaded in darkness, and the only thing she sees like part of his face.
Right.
So but other than that was my thing that I didn't like about. I was like,
but did you like the ending though?
I did like, so everything leading up to it was cool. The fucking her throwing him in the trunk and boom.
Yeah, the fire.
Yeah, and just slamming in there. I honestly thought she was gonna go.
I thought she was too.
I thought she was gonna go. I don't want to say happy, but I would have been satisfied.
You would have been okay with her passing.
With both of them, because then,
because she got him and it's done.
Well, what's that old saying, like, when you go get revenge, you got to dig two graves?
Oh yeah.
So I thought that would have been a good way to end it, and then have the detective just stand there being helpless and just couldn't help her.
Yeah, but then like the second cousin, the little girl's gonna be okay because then he'll watch her or something.
Yeah, but then it also kind of like, echoes earlier in the movie where he chose to be helpless.
Right.
And then here, like, he's actually helpless. He can't do anything. And I would have been okay. I would have been satisfied had both our antagonist and protagonist died. I would have been, that's a good ending.
But maybe she does though, because we don't know that actually. Now that I'm like rethinking about it, because when he's like I think he says stay with me.
Yeah, stay with me.
And she's kind of like, okay, maybe she passed though, because she kind of closes her eyes a little bit. I don't know. So maybe she does die. We don't actually.
Yeah, we don't get a clear. I think that's kind of left ambiguous for us, the viewer, to decide. Mm-hmm. Like to decide her fate or whatnot. I think she lived. I'm a sucker for happy endings.
You're an optimist.
Yeah. I know. People that say, like, Naomi's like, why are you such an optimist when it comes to movies, but you're such a pessimist in life? I don't know. Maybe because movies just have an arc that I can see coming.
Yeah, and they're only 2 hours.
Yeah. And so I think she lived. I think they were able to get past their differences and just live a happy life.
Okay.
But if she died, then it's like, well, no. To me, like, I would rather have seen her death. Yeah. Because I think that would have been much more of an impact.
Yeah, for sure.
Because then it would just kind of like sucker punch the audience, say like, nope. See, that's how you end it.
Yeah. So it did feel very abrupt to me,
Yeah, with that cut when she says, okay. And then credits. Yeah. Yeah, I do see your point that it does feel abrupt. There's like no build up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, it's I don't know. So what are your overall thoughts on this? Did you like it? Did you not like it?
I did really enjoy it. It is subtitles, so for those people who don't like subtitles, I mean, I still recommend it. But I'd have to say, like, I really do. I haven't really seen a lot of Turkish actresses, especially in like German film. So I want to. This made me want to see more of that. Mm-hmm. It opened like a new door to me. So I'd for sure like to see more of that, and more of her, because I thought she was really good. I thought she could totally be like a what's her name? Mila Jovovich. Yeah, she's kind of like that type of.
Who can actually fight, by the way. Not throw shade, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know.
If you've seen those Resident Evil movies, you know what I'm talking about.
I love her, dude. I love her too, though. But I want to see more of her, and I like the detective as well. So overall, I would give it, 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4?
3 out of 4, yeah.
It's usually 5, but okay.
Okay, sorry, 3 out of 5. 5 is a weird number to me. I don't know why. Like, it's either... it's not even, yeah.
It's got to be odd because then, like, if it's...
How many cactuses do you give? No.
How many? I'll give it 4 cactuses then. No, so if we're doing out of 5, yeah, I'd say like a 4 out of 5. Even though I will say this again, it wasn't a horror movie to me, but it was a fun action tense drama.
It was horrible.
So I give it 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5?
Yeah.
That's not bad. It's not a bad score. To me, I enjoyed this film. I thought it was a really good way to learn how to build suspense in certain scenes, like the car scene and the whole ending sequence, on just how to like build atmosphere and suspense and just kind of engage the audience and make sure that you're tense throughout. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it. I was just like, oh man, like I just wanted the confrontation because they did it so well where that confrontation at the end, you're just waiting for it. You know it's coming,
right?
But like when it goes there, it's like it's kind of unexpected because he gets the upper hand so quickly. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good movie. It's a very unique take on the revenge films.
Yeah. And
I totally enjoyed the fight sequences. I can't wait to see what she does next.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that she does like a full-blown action movie because I want to see this chick in action.
Yeah, me too.
I want to see her kick some ass with those dudes from the raid. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, I would give it 4 Z's out of 5.
Okay.
You know, I enjoyed this movie. I thought I was gonna like it a little bit more than I thought, but like when you pointed out the ending, it kind of does feel abrupt.
Kind of fizzles.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted more bang for my buck for it right there, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So along with that, we had homework. I'm the only one that did it.
What? No, it was resting in my mind, and I kept trying to go over this. Like, what would this pair with? And I kept thinking and thinking. I had such a hard time. So you go. I finally thought of one, but you go first.
So we had homework from last week. We said, okay, we're gonna watch this movie, and then we're gonna pair it with another movie. Only rule is that it has to fit the themes, or it has to go well with the movie, pretty much. I struggle with this because, like, right off the bat, I immediately thought I saw the devil. Mm. It's like, right there. Because that is such a fucking great ending. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
That is such a great ending and a great fuck you to the audience.
Yeah.
In a certain way, because your hero becomes the monster at the end, which is really fascinating. And it's true in a lot of revenge films, and that you don't see. But then I was like, no, because that's too long. Then you might lose the audience, but it is engaging enough to keep the audience awake. But then I'm like, oh wait, this is a serial killing movie. I'll just focus on that. So I thought, Killer Inside Me, would that work? Too slow. Even though that opening's cool, too slow. So I had to go all the way back to 1986. Do you know where I'm going?
I don't know. I'll see.
Eric Red's The Hitcher.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How? Okay, in what way though?
Because this movie kind of plays out the same kind of way. In a sense, not like in a sense where like the story is, but the structure of it.
Okay, I can see the structure of it.
It's really structured the same way because you're introduced to these two characters. They know each other. They know what they look like. And yet throughout the whole entire time, you know, you have this one guy that's trying to get the upper hand on this other guy that's just trying to mind his own business. And basically, that's what Cold Hell is, because she's trying to mind her own business too.
Right.
And this guy is just fucking with her. Mm-hmm. Not like to the extreme of like John Ryder.
Yeah.
But he's fucking with her. He's trying to kill her.
Yeah. And
trying to find out who she is.
They both have the same end goal. They just want to kill this person.
While, you know, Ryder wants to die, he doesn't want to die. He wants to live and see his legacy.
Yeah.
You know, because he's a different kind of serial killer, while Ryder is a spree killer.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that movie would play very well because also it's really engaging, it's action packed, it's a really funny movie at certain points, and there is such a devastating scene involving a semi truck.
Yep, that's one of the greatest scenes, by the way, ever.
Yeah, that is, and shouts out to Jennifer Jason Leigh for doing that.
Yeah.
But that's just such a devastating scene, and it breaks him, where she goes off the bridge, and that breaks her to an extent. So, while one goes, hands-on on his approach, the other one's, like our producer was saying, impulsive. And an opportunist rather, right? So, I feel like that movie would play well with it. I rewatched it last night, and I was like, yeah, this would go well. Because I watched the last 15 minutes of Cold Hell, and then I watched The Hitcher. I was like, yeah, that's my movie.
Did you see the remake of The Hitcher?
We don't talk about that movie. That movie's garbage.
Well, what's interesting, so I was telling you, I think last week, Fender Bender, which is also on Shudder, that to me would go perfectly well with The Hitcher. Because he's very charming, he's very fun. You see him straight up. So like I know I'm getting a lot of hate on this, but like Fender Bender, I actually really enjoyed it. So you should watch that. Cause I'm gonna
have to watch it. I remember telling you that I think I've seen that movie, but it was Hit and Run.
It was Hit and Run, yeah.
But I actually own Hit and Run, so I really can't say anything about that.
It's on Shudder. Check it out.
If you've seen Hit and Run, then you know what I'm talking about. It's pretty bad. But that was where I went. I went with The Hitcher. I was initially gonna go with The Horseman or The Killer Inside Me, but The Horseman is a really good revenge movie, and it's just in your fucking face. The Killer Inside You is really like a slow burn, that ending is really good. And I thought that ending contrast with Cold Hell. I think that would have been really good, both involving fire. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I went with The Hitcher. I thought that was, to me, I honestly thought that worked well. And that's a good, if I was programming a theater, I would double bill this.
You would double bill that?
Yeah, I would double bill that.
Okay. I went with the original Girl with the Dragon Tattoo just because it has very similar elements. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, it's more intense and it is more dark, but I feel the characters are very similar.
And both of them, Lisbeth and our protagonist, both share that same kind of characteristics.
They have this, and they don't trust men.
Yeah,
and that's very key in both the films. And they're both badass, and they both can fight. And given Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is a very long film, and it is a franchise, I believe.
Yeah, with 3, and then
they remade it. They remade it with Daniel Craig. That one was also, I didn't mind that one. I liked that one too. But it's very female. It's a female action hero. You root for them, yet there's such a brooding side to them. There's like this moodiness that's happening. And it's very dark and intense. I would double bill it with the original Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Mm-hmm. That's an interesting pairing too, because you have Lisbeth, who's kind of like a hacker and a PI, and then you have damn it, I
don't know the character's name in this one. I forgot.
So our lead protagonist, I'm gonna have to Google this.
It's a hard name. It's not an easy name either.
Ogs.
Olga
or Ogza. It's Ozge.
I can't pronounce it. Yeah.
I can't pronounce it either. We're gonna be butchering her name.
We'll call her O.
O's. They both share a lot of characteristics, and I feel like that would work really well, because Cold Hell runs at a lean 90 minutes, because once it starts going, it's over.
It's over, yeah.
And so with the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, that's also that's like 2 hours.
It's pretty long,
but but it's such an engaging story that you're involved with these characters.
You're involved. You're in it with them. Yeah, and they're both foreign films, so there's another aspect to throw in.
Is that the one you would?
I would say, yeah, because I was really trying to think, because it had all of these different elements of films I've seen and things that reminded me of, but after because I did take a long time to process this, what the hell would this go with? And it took me a long time, but I would say now, yeah, that would be my choice.
Where originally were you going with it?
Well, I don't know why taking lives. This is weird because it has nothing to do, like, there's no similar, but the moodiness of it.
Yeah.
Had like a taking lives kind of like, I don't know. I don't know why I was thinking that, but, and then I was thinking like, maybe stigmata, just because of the religious purposes that the guy, you know, he's like, oh, women should only be under men. You know, that's the guy's, that was his motto. And then you have stigmata where she's like a badass, but she's getting like possessed, but she's anti-god. I don't know. So like those elements too.
And I think she's a prostitute, no?
And stigmata?
Yeah.
No, she's a hairdresser.
She's a hairdresser?
Yeah.
Why is she?
Wow.
No. Because I remember seeing that. Because I remember in there, there was a scene in there that there was a guy that called her a loose woman or something like that. Or called her a whore.
Well, she's in stigmata. She's very wild. Like she's very fun. She likes to go out, but she's a hairdresser. She's a hairdresser. Yeah.
Really? I don't remember seeing a scene that way.
Yeah, the priest comes in to get his hair cut, and she does it for him. Yeah,
really?
there's tons of scenes.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that.
And then when she sees the baby being thrown in the street, she's at work and she's like cutting hair and she like runs out. You gotta rewatch it because I feel like Stigmata is a gem.
I have not seen that movie since it came out.
Oh, it's so good.
And that's how long it goes. That goes back to like 20 years maybe.
Yeah, it's such a good movie.
It came out right around the same time as End of Days, but I remember,
oh my god, End of Days!
But I remember End of Days much more than Stigmata.
Yeah,
maybe because that's
those would go well together. Actually,
yeah, they would.
They would. I actually liked End of Days.
We should host like a get together and host that double bill.
Yeah, and Gabriel Bynes in both of those. He's the priest and he's the devil in End of Days.
Oh shit!
And he was the dad in Hereditary.
Oh shit!
That's him. Yeah. And he's Irish, and he's got an interesting background.
Triple Gabriel Byrne. I don't know if people can handle it, man.
And then we could show Gothic, because he was in Gothic.
Gothic? I never seen that one.
Good. You've never seen Gothic?
I've never seen Gothic.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
How old is that?
Oh, that's like 70s or 80s.
It's about Shelley.
80s?
Yeah, that was
80s,
I
right?
saw that as a teenager.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, I kind of sidetracked with Gabriel.
Yeah, so I have not seen it, so I'm gonna have to Google this trailer. So
yeah,
and see. So that's our double bill. Mine is Cold Hell with the Hitcher, and yours.
And mine is Cold Hell with the original girl with the dragon tattoo.
Yeah, so that's our double bill. That's our movie of the week segment, Cold Hell. It's on Shudder exclusively, so please go out and see that movie because we need to support independent films.
We do, absolutely.
And this is how we get nice things, people. This is how we get Joe Bob back. This is how we'll get Elvira back for one show.
And we need that. We need new talent. We don't need remakes. We need new content.
Yeah,
know?
You were someone. Okay, so
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Since you brought it up,
yeah.
So someone had posted that Buffy is doing a reboot.
Oh my god, I could say so much hate on this right now. I'm just not a fan of reboots. So they're rebooting Buffy again, and I was like on this thread. And this is why I hate Facebook because like I try not to get in arguments with people. And I was like, man, they need new content. Like Hollywood needs to stop remaking things. And someone wrote, go watch movies or I don't know what he said, but he's like, go watch movies, in the theater then. And I'm like, yup, already doing that. And then he like responds back like, well, good and blah 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 blah, and he's just like trying to get the last word. But
I hate people like that.
It's like, dude, yeah, I'm an independent filmmaker too, of course. Like, you have to support independent films, and we need new stuff. Like, they're remaking Charmed, okay? They're doing Buffy. Like, they're redoing all these things that we don't need. Just make it your own.
Okay, so first off, there's only one Buffy, okay? There's only one fucking Buffy, and that's Christy fucking Swanson.
80s Buffy.
That's Buffy. And I bet she regrets turning down that TV series.
I know.
It's like, man, you could have been, like, big.
Yeah. But that made Sarah Michelle Gellar. I mean,
No.
No.
I Know What You Did Last Summer made Sarah Michelle Gellar. No,
okay,
The Grudge.
I'm a fan of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I know, which we will which will be our topic for next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
okay,
we're gonna talk off air about that and track those down. But yeah, I hate I Know What You Did Last Summer. So.
But do you know what I mean though? Like if you're gonna do a new badass female, do a new character. Like, don't.
Like, there's
a new thing.
There was damn it, Vampirella.
Yeah.
Vampirella.
Yeah.
She's that's a character that even though she's X-rated to an extent, there's ways that you can kind of tone her down.
Right.
You know what I mean? What's another one? You can give Black Widow her own fucking movie.
They are, I think.
Yeah, but after like 10 years of us asking for it.
Yeah.
Who else?
I mean, just invent a new female. Like, you don't even have to do it like. I'm sure people are like, oh, they should do like a Carrie series. They don't need to do that. You could do someone completely new. You can do like something witchy. You could do something. You can also do another telekinetic thing that doesn't have to be a remake of something. I don't know. I'm just trying to like think off the top of my head. But like they're bringing Creepshow back
as a series,
which is great. It's not a remake. They're going to be doing, new stuff. So just do that.
You do realize now you're going to catch a lot of flack for that, though,
I don't care. You know what? Okay. Fuck off, people.
So 5 minutes before you said, I have a problem with a reboot of Buffy, but then they got a reboot of Creepshow.
No.
An anthology series.
Because they're not redoing Creepshow.
Yeah, that's but it's an anthology series. They're using the name.
They're using the name, but it's not going to be like a remake, like a Father's Day, or it's not. They're not remaking those things. When you're rebooting, a series that's already been done, that's a remake. You're redoing it, and they're not even going to make her like a cheerleader. They're going to make her like I read that like they're completely new direction with it too.
Where's she gonna go? She's gonna be like a YouTube star.
I don't know. I know she's going to be African American. They said that's for sure, and they're going to bring like more diversity into it. But I don't know. Like, just stop with the remakes already. Just knock it off. Do a sequel. That's fine. Sequels are okay, but just stop remaking shit. It's driving me crazy.
I don't know how you could do a sequel to Buffy.
Have it be her daughter. She make it a kid.
Shut up.
Or a son. or a son or whatever. Or it could be like another character's kid or something. Like a new generation.
They had this show on Sci-Fi called Van Helsing.
Oh, I haven't checked that out.
It's a female Van Helsing.
Oh.
It's really bad, but I mean, it's on Sci-Fi.
But yeah, Sci-Fi's hit or miss.
Because honestly. It's on Sci-Fi, so it's kind of like Z Nation, where it's kind of like really cheap.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't look very well.
And that's just a knockoff of The Walking Dead, in my opinion.
But it's a lot fucking better, though.
No, it's not.
Yes,
how can you sit here and say that? Walking Dead is one of the most... You should be happy because Walking Dead is horror, and it's the #1 show in like the U.S.
You know what?
It's the #1 show.
I'm mad because motherfuckers like those people that watch The Walking Dead didn't fucking show up when Hannibal was on the verge of cancellation.
I know.
So that's what pisses me off. You're going to sit there and tell me, oh, we showed up to The Walking Dead. Bitch, you didn't show up to the dance when it really counted. We had the #1 horror show on network television.
I know.
Hannibal, with a great cast, great writer. Fucking Brad Murphy as a showrunner. I mean, come on.
You know what I think? You know why, though? Because The Walking Dead was a comic, and comic fans are insane. Like, they are dedicated. They will, like, rip you open to get something.
We're horror fans, too, so...
I know. But when you mix those together, though...
But it goes to show, like, last weekend, we fucking shut down the internet.
Yeah.
Because of Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah.
We not only shut down Shudder, we broke his fucking website. I couldn't get my fucking free t-shirt.
I know.
So, I mean, there are fans there, but it's like, Hannibal got canceled because we didn't show up and give that show the praise. 5 years later, it is hailed as one of the best TV series of the past 10 years.
Yeah.
It's up there with Breaking Bad, even though it's had a limited run of 4 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
It is such a great show. It is. And, Mads Mikkelsen
I love
as
him.
Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, he was so good.
A lot of people said, I don't know. But he made Lecter.
Great.
He made Lecter his own.
Yeah.
And he added such an intelligent element to Lecter. Such an elegance that I felt was missing from the movies.
Did you ever see the movie The Hunt with him?
No, but I heard that was really good, though.
It's not horror, but it's intense. It's this little girl that he's like I think is he a teacher in it? It's been such a long time. I used to work at a festival and they premiered it there years ago, but it's like a small town, and he gets accused of sexually harassing a little girl, and he didn't do it. And he's like friends with her family. He knows her and everything. And it's like a witch hunt. She fucks his life over. And the ending, though, to that movie is key. Like, I've never seen... That ending blew my mind away. Like, wow. And I'm not going to give it away because I do want you to see it. But he gives such a good performance in that.
Is this on Prime or something?
You could probably find it.
How old is that?
This came out like 2012, I want to... Or no, 2014?
2014.
I don't know,
really?
somewhere around there. Yeah, when was I don't remember when I was working at the
It's
festival.
funny because that trailer had popped up on my YouTube feed as a recommendation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so and I haven't gone and watched it, and I just hadn't had time. I was like, oh, this is cool. I thought it was like a new movie or whatever.
No, it's been out for like a couple years, but it's his performance in it was so good.
So I'm gonna have to
check it out.
I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah. So anything else?
No, but I'm excited to debate a What You Did Last Summer because I feel like I'm the only fan of that movie.
Oh man, I am not looking forward to that because
I am
gonna rip that movie to shreds.
Oh my god!
And
well, I'll piece it back together.
And I'm gonna rip Jennifer Love Hewitt and Ryan Phillippe a new one.
How dare you, just Ryan Phillippe?
I'm gonna throw Freddie Prinze right in the fucking
ocean.
Okay.
That's how him and Sarah Michelle Gellar met, and then they're still married to this day. How romantic is that? Yes.
Really?
Yes. And they have kids and everything. They did Scooby-Doo together. Like, they're like the long...
Doesn't she know that he was a writer for WWE? So that means he's below her?
Oh my god.
I mean, if you're a writer for WWE, that's pretty low. That means you can't work on network television.
Well, he's like, he raised the kids, and she's like the one that's doing... like more movies and stuff. But there was a show on Lifetime called Witches of East End, and that only ran for like 2 seasons, but he was in that. And I was like, oh, Freddie Prinze Jr.
I don't watch Lifetime. Lifetime makes me scared.
I love Lifetime.
It's like every time
what about how the woman from Sleepaway Camp met the actress, how she met
Ricky.
her husband?
Oh, so
he was a
CK,
fan.
He was a fan,
and just kept.
And he kept pursuing her. Yeah.
And then she met him, and it was like.
Yeah, that was a cute story.
I think that's cute.
He was all wearing her shirt and shit.
Yeah, like he was just like.
He was in CKY.
And then he gets to marry her.
Yeah, he was a fan.
How awesome is that?
You don't hear about that often.
No,
actually.
Usually it's the opposite.
Yeah.
It's like, I need a restraining order on this person over here.
That's cute though.
That's pretty hilarious.
That's funny.
I think that's all the time we got for right now. This has been Bumpin' the Night. Again, you can find our podcast on our YouTube channel at TVZ Studios, and you can also find the audio version at podbean.com/TVZ Studios and tvzstudios.com. Website will go live Monday after this weekend, so by the time this airs, the website will already be live. So for that, I'm your host, the Boogeyman, Johnny Zuko, with the Crypt Keeper's mistress, Elysa Sardinha. And I'll make sure I'll spell your name right this time.
It's a weird name.
I'm so used to with people spell it with an S-I-A.
I know.
So yeah. So I apologize. So
Lisa with Y.
And that is the producer with Miss Moist. Keeps stealing my goddamn thunder.
Gotta love that nickname though.
Yeah, right? Alright. So when we start handing out t-shirts, the shirt's gonna be moist and you're gonna know why.
Stay scary, everyone.
That was scary.